was a young boy back in 1970, one hot and humid afternoon. A storm built over the prairies of Nebraska. The winds strengthened, the hail grew in size, and the lightning became more frequent as the stereotypical supercell plugged across the plains. My father saw the storm approaching, and 20 minutes before it hit, he abandoned his tractor, a rare fit of panic for my father. He sprinted inside with a certain speed that's difficult to imagine when looking at someone his size. My mother gathered me and my two siblings, one brother and one sister. We fled to the basement, which was a really small dirt room secured by a metal door. The radio reported that a tornado warning had been issued, and the flashes of lightning darted out from the storm and shook our house. Meanwhile, my dad had gone to park the car under the garage as we watched from the steps of the storm cellar. The pitch black cone filled more and more of our field of vision. My dad attempted to return inside, but he never made it into the shelter, which was in the middle of our home. The cone swept over our house, nearly erasing all traces of our house. My mother could barely keep the thick metal blast door closed as the bar slid into place to hold it. The door shook violently as my mother and siblings sobbed with the loss of my dad. The hissing wind overwhelmed the horrified screams of my parents as the wind slammed and rain poured into our cellar. My mother was gone into the wind and lightning. My brother attempted to reclose the cellar. As he attempted to seal the latch without explanation, blood appeared all over his shirt. Somehow a knife had become debris and buried itself in my brother's chest. My sister was the last one the storm eliminated. The loud sound of hail bombarded the metal door and sounded almost like gunshots. And less than 5 seconds later, my sister was impaled by an icy projectile. I don't remember much of climbing out, other than frantically fleeing to my bed. But what I remember so clearly, what I remember and will never forget no matter how time ages my mind, was discovering that my home was untouched in the morning. But at the same time, my parents were still dead, their bodies laying on the ground. I called the police, who determined that there was never a tornado. They whisked me away to be a ward of the state, saying nothing more other than a very bad man killed your family. They told me as I got older that the tornado memory was just my way of dealing with the grief. But I knew that I had seen that the tornado killed my parents. This week I was digging through my belongings, some going back to the time of the tornado. At age 19, I was allowed to own the property. I had more or less forgotten about it. I went through the basket of childhood mementos. In there were the directions of a medicine I took for my psychiatric problems. They had been tossed away in a box. In the side effects section, these words caught my eye and stopped my heart. Among more serious effects, this drug may cause violent rages, tunnel vision, and false memories.